Welcome to the Two Dumbass Wood Shop. In this episode, we're going to be going through construction of a wedding sign, and hopefully this will be of use to you. Stay tuned. Desperado, sitting in a old Monte Carlo, a man is out his hollow. Welcome to the Two Dumbass Wood Shop. In this episode, we're going to be using some scrap wood. My daughter put in a request for us to make a welcome sign for a wedding, and that's what you're going to see. We're going to use this scrap wood, and what we're going to do is start to cut it down, and we're going to make it a 3 foot by 2 foot, and just make a welcoming sign for a wedding. Okay, what we've done is I had these two pieces, and this piece was 3 foot, so what we did is I cut this down to 3 foot as well. And this is 3 foot by 2 foot, and this is 3 foot by 20 inches. Again, I'm using scrap. I could have cut this down to make them the same, but really you're never even going to see this. This is what's going to hold this up. The next step we're going to do is I'm going to fasten these with hinges. But before we do that, we are actually going to build a box down here on the bottom in order to put some false flowers, some fake flowers, etc. down below to make this look pretty. And once we get that done, what we'll start to do is fasten it together, prime it, and put the hinges on here with a chain, and we'll be done. So stay with us as we walk through this project. All right, so now we're going to be building our box. So this is the 12 inches that I cut off of that scrap piece. And so what we've decided is hey, our box is only going to be 8 inches, 8 inches high. And so what we're going to do is cut this down. We're going to cut 4 inches off of that and start to make that box. But we've also agreed that, hey, we're going to keep this way dimensionally the same as our overall sign. This is the base of our box. And so what we're going to do is cut this to 7.5 inches to allow for the 1/2 inch plywood. All right, so what you see here is we've built the foundation of our box. We have these two 2x4s that are 7.5 inches each. We had to make room for our 1/2 inch plywood. Again, this is all scrap. But now as you see, hey, we have roughly a 1/2 inch of plywood sticking out. So what we're going to do is trim this down, and then we'll have the foundation of our box complete. Okay, I've got this box cut down to size. What we're going to do next is I flip this upside down, and what we're going to do is we're going to have the finished plywood facing out. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to roll these down, put glue on here, fasten these up, air nail them, and air nail everything tight. So it's non-load bearing, but we don't want it to come apart. And obviously on a wedding day, that's not when you want to be improvising. So we've got the basic foundation of our box. What I'll do now is just kind of wipe out this glue, and the next step is we will fasten it. Actually, what we'll do is we'll paint it and then fasten it to the other plywood. All right, I'm looking at the box. So these 2x4s have a slight bevel to them. All 2x4s do. And so what it's done is it's created just a slight little gap on the outsides. And so in order to improve that appearance, what I'm going to do is I use this trick a lot, is I keep clean sawdust of different colors, and what I do is I just make my own fill. So I'll just pour in a bunch of glue in here, stir up the sawdust, and then pack it into these cracks, sand it off. You'll never see it, particularly after we paint it. So when you sit here and look at this box, this is that gap I was telling you about with that beveled edge 2x4. And how the squareness creates that gap with the plywood. And then what you see here is I've created this sawdust filler putty, and we're going to close that gap, and then I'll sand it once it's all dry. So I've got this wedding sign, which the front's down, and I've got the box hanging down, and I've got the two ends jammed up, and I've got it so that this will close completely 180 degrees. And I've got these sandwiched up. They're both 1/2 inch plywood. I've got them centered to each other, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did with this, but I'm going to allow just a little bit of space so that they don't pinch. And that's just probably a 1/16 of an inch. And so I don't want to put any more stress on this hinge than I have to, so that just little sliver of space will allow us not to pinch. That works perfect. The next step we're going to do is I'm going to create a rope. I'm going to fasten it to the back with staples on both ends, and then that will allow it to basically hold it in place when it's extended. Here's my plan B. My plan B is I have these old staples for when you're putting up 12-2 wire and wiring a house. This is what they used to use, and I have a couple of those left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in here, and I'm only going to use one right into this 2x4 right above that knot, and that should provide enough support to hold this in place.
In closing, Tim, really easy project. Were you really happy with the results?
Oh yeah, super great. I mean, think if you can see the photos. I think my daughter ended up selling the sign for $150, and I'll bet I had $25 in it.
Yeah, it sure did look great at the entrance to the wedding there and everything like that. So, good job.
Thank you.
Any tips or tricks in closing?
No, I think a key thing is just having somebody that can get you your decals for however you want to construct that. I think they're called a Cricut, and that's what we used. And other than that, I think it's pretty cut and dried.
Awesome. Well, until next time, be safe, have fun, and make some sawdust.
Desperado, sitting in a old Monte Carlo, a man whose heart is hollow.